Not bad. I've added a beveled border on this track. Gives it a little definition here. There's a couple more things we need to do. We need to take into account our safe areas, and I want to slide this in. We're going to handle this with track motion. I've inserted a track up top here. This is a parent track, and I've made all of the others children to this parent. Let's label it. Now I'm going to use the parent track's motion This is where I want it to be at 2 seconds. Actually, to take into account our safe areas, let's do it this way. Back here, we want this to be off. And there we have it. This one is going to be a lower third, so we're going to have to shrink everything down. I have a text layer. This is actually a checkerboard. Noise texture, clouds. And another color gradient. Let's see what we can do with these. Let's begin with our bottom layer. I'm going to drag these points down, but I want to keep my 90 degrees, so I'll have to reset that when I'm done. Both of those back to 90 degrees. Okay, that looks good. Let's make the second color somewhere in the blues, right? And then we're going to animate this one just a tad. Let's use Event Pan Crop. I've added a couple of track motion points to this one. Give it a little bit of a flare. Using track motion on this track, I've constrained it to this size and this position. I'm going to add an orange 2D glow to it. And now I'm going to go back to the original because I want to adjust the color to a much lighter color, more like a sky color. Going to want to blur the edges between these a little bit more. Let's go back here and just feather this in a little bit more like that. And remember to reset our angle to 90. And now let's go back to this one. I'm going to change the intensity of the 2D glow. And I'm also going to blur it. Okay. Let's work with this track and see if we can't incorporate some of it down here. I'm going to use the track motion again. I'm actually using this one as a kind of a filter. as you can see here. And I'm going to make the height even less. And I'm going to bring down the opacity just a tad. Well, if it's 0, right there, 16%.